Welcome back to Sports and Clubs. I'm here with the boys hockey coach, Mr. Marisolo. How's it going?
It's going well, Andrew. Nice to see you.
Now, we'll get right into it. How long have you been coaching for?
I've been a head coach in high school for 22 years. This is my 7th year at Melrose.
Okay. And where'd you coach before Melrose?
I was the head coach at Linfield for 15 years, and I did stints at Westwood and Malden Catholic as an assistant as well.
All right. Now, what made you want to be a coach in the first place?
I just love the competitive aspect of it. I've been involved in the game since I was a young boy, since I was 5. And now that you can't play anymore, I just think it's great being able to stay in the game and just the competitive aspect of it.
Now, I know you just mentioned that you played hockey growing up. Could you maybe talk more about growing up? Because I believe you played in college, right?
Yeah, I think I'm a better coach than I was a player, but I ended up playing at Bowdoin. I played locally at high school, Dom Savio. It doesn't exist anymore as a Catholic school, but had a great experience at Bowdoin, had a lot of fun, and it was just an easy transition to coach.
Now, I know the season's a couple games have been played so far. Can you
Yeah.
maybe talk about some of those games and how you're feeling about the team?
Yeah, no, I think the team's doing really well. It's a really exciting group. It's a really fun group. It's obviously more fun when you win than when you lose. We're 5-0-1, and I think it's just a great group. I think if you like hockey, this is a great group to come and watch. We're putting some good numbers up. We're scoring a lot more goals, and we're keeping the puck out of our net as well. So I think we're off to a really good start, 5-0-1. You can't expect much more, and we'll just keep trying to get better and see where it goes. I think the Arlington tie was a really good tie. We like to take issue with people saying we tied Arlington. We were in the lead. I think they tied us. And I think hopefully we can get some respect, and I think the program's continuing to get credibility. And we feel like we can play with anybody, and we feel like the sky's the limit for this club.
That's great to hear. And I know you just talked about it a little bit there, but last year you guys made the tournament and unfortunately lost in the first round. But could you maybe talk about some goals you got for this year to maybe improve and get better?
Yeah, I mean, to take a step back, I think, last year, sometimes it's a necessary step in a progression to make the tournament as a young team. See the highs and lows within a game and learn from, the emotional highs and lows and your mistakes. I think that's going to really help us going forward this year. This year, one of our goals is to win the league. The boys hockey team hasn't won the league in, I think, a long time. And I think that's something we can definitely achieve. Obviously, we want to make the tournament. And like I said, I feel like this year, the sky's the limit, that we can play with anybody on any given day. If we can continue to be consistent, continue to get better, we'd love to be able to compete for the league championship and a state championship.
Now, I know you just brought up that you haven't won the league in a while. Can you maybe talk about the Middlesex League being a tough league to play in?
Yeah, I think it's the best public league in the state, and I think it's one of the best leagues in the state, period. And, history will tell you that there's always 1 or 2 in the Super 8 and, state champions coming out of our league. And I think the beauty of it is it gets you ready for the tournament. Our schedule it's a tough league. It's a real tough league, and it's, scheduled to get you ready for the state tournament. And, we've had some good success so far in the league, and we're looking forward to playing, Reading and Winchester. We have Stoneham on Saturday. Our arch rival Wakefield next week. So the league is a grind. It's a real grind.
And now what are some of the games that you're looking forward to coming up?
I think from a fan's perspective, you want to look at definitely the Reading game, like I said. The Winchester game is always, we took 3 out of 4 points last year from those guys, and I think they were both, we tied with Reading and we beat Winchester by a goal, so I think those are going to be real exciting. A lot of amped up people on both sides with those games, so a lot of intensity. That'll be fun. Non-league, we have St. John's Prep and we have Xaverian, which I think will be 2 good benchmarks for us. I think those are 2 of the top 10 teams in the state. And I think that, again, from a fan's perspective, I think those are going to be great games to come and watch. And I think for us, it'll be good to see where we stack up against some of the best teams, in the state. And I think Reading, Winchester, Arlington, St. John's Prep, Xaverian, I think they're all top 10, 12 teams in the state. So I think it's going to help us going forward.
For sure. Now, your team's got quite a few underclassmen on it. Can you maybe talk about some of the younger kids that you are looking to be future stars in the team? Or?
Yeah, I think not future stars. I think we have a lot of current stars. I think, as I said, I've been doing this for a long time, and this is just really a fun team. And we have a lot of skill. I think the biggest difference between this team and maybe some of my earlier teams here is I think our skill level is continuing to improve, and I think our skill depth is really, really a good thing. So individuals, I think, Mark Dooling is doing a great job. He's a senior, and I think we'll only go as far as our defense and goaltending go, and I think Mark's having a fantastic year. In front of him, Liam Crovo, Adam Bain are two senior captains, and they've done a great job here for 4 years, and I think this is really their time to shine. And I talked about the young guys, but the old guys got to get their credit first.
Of course.
And then we have, some other really solid D. We have Joe Lucian, the transfer from Mother Catholic, who's having a nice year. We have, Will Pierce has played some minutes. We have Sam Shippey's another senior who's, starting to log some minutes. Nolan Castagnini's been playing a little bit. And so I think we have a real good core, from the goaltender out into our defense. And I think defensively, I think that really separates us from a lot of our competition. I don't think there's many teams that can put a defensive core out there that we put out there. And then on the other end, we have a lot of really nice young forwards. Right now we have our top line is, Brendan Fennell is a sophomore, who's doing a great job. The kid's just a winner. One thing I'll say about him is he never takes a shift off. Every day he's working his tail off, and that's not just something being said. That's really true. That's why he's someone that we really key on. And he skates with Cam Marks and Andrew Calvert, two juniors again, who are having great years. Cam's a real high skill guy, and Andrew does a really, really nice job playing between those guys. And as of right now, our second line's 3 sophomores, Charlie Haggerty, Quinn McCarthy, and Sean Senior. And those are 3 guys, when I talk about skill level, they have a really high skill level, and they play really well together. So I think all those names you're going to be hearing about for a while. And then, go back to our third group with, Pat Marr, who you and I have talked about before. He's another captain. He's a senior, hard worker, does a great job representing what we're all about. And right now he's skating with Jake McNeely, who's a senior. Jake's a great story. He's worked his way from being a JV player to being a top 9 forward for us. So Jake's doing a great job. And on the other side, we have Cam Gorman or Kevin O'Keefe, who are also helping on a little bit. And we have other guys who are just waiting to jump in, like Ryan Morris and Gavin Crowley. So it's just a great team, and I'd be remiss. I have to mention our backup goalies, because there's nothing worse than taking shots on a cold rink every day and not getting a lot of playing time. So Adam Cleese and Andrew Martin are obviously doing a great job for us as well.
That's great to hear. Now, a bit of a personal question for you.
Sure.
What's your favorite hockey-related moment, whether it be as a player, a coach, or a fan?
I have a lot of them. I think what I find really rewarding and really enjoyable is just when you can be a group. Hockey's a collective team sport, and just overachieve or beat a team that you weren't supposed to beat, or be successful in the face of adversity. So I guess if I had to name one specific moment, I had a team in Linfield several years back. I actually think it was 2007. We were 10-10, and we went to the North Finals, and we had to have a playing game to get in, and I think we won 4 or 5 games just to get to the North Finals. And that was a young team that was barely 500, and we went really deep. And I think why that's so exciting is because the state tournament, to me, there's nothing like it. I think that's an experience that these kids can remember for the rest of their lives. So high school state hockey tournament, to me, is just a tremendous experience, and it'd be great for these kids to have some fun with that for extended period of time, 2-3 weeks, get some wins under our belt and see what we can do. In spite of where we play, sometimes the Kasabuski's not a great rink to watch a game at. It would be fantastic if we could get people out there and come and support it. It's a really good brand of hockey. We're putting up some numbers, so it's fun. It's offensive, and I just think it's a really, really good hockey. And I think you'll enjoy watching us play this year. And I think it helps us if we can get the boys to see people in the stands. I think it'll help us win.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Up next, we'll have the boys hockey captains. Welcome back to Sports and Clubs. I'm here with the boys hockey captains. How you guys doing?
I'm all right. Pretty good.
Now we'll get right into it. What got you guys into playing hockey in the first place when you were younger?
Yeah, so my older brother played hockey. I used to go to his games all the time, go to his practices. Used to run around the rink. They actually used to let me skate a little bit with them. But that kind of sparked my interest and love for the sport.
It's the same with me. My older brother played hockey. Used to go to all his games, practices. Used to play street hockey together, and got me interested too.
I had a lot of friends who played hockey back in elementary school, so kind of developed my interest and then got me into playing.
So the team last year, you guys made the tournament. Could you kind of elaborate more on how the season went for you guys? Did you think it was a good season, or what did you guys think?
It was up and down a little bit. It was a good season from the one before, as we just missed the tournament. But last year was a good turnaround. We had a decent amount of wins, and we snuck in the tournament by a couple points. But it was definitely a good bounce back year from the one before.
Now, how do you guys feel about the team this season? I know as of right now, you guys are undefeated and only have one tie. So, how do you guys feel?
Oh, we feel pretty good. We had a big tie against Arlington. Should have won, but it's all right. We're looking forward to the rest of the season. We got some big games coming up, but I think we're at a steady pace right now. Keep it up.
For sure. Now, how do you guys feel about the upcoming schedule? I know you got 2 huge games in Xaverian and St. John's Prep.
Yeah.
How do you guys think that's going to go?
Well, it'll go well. I think we'll battle with them. They're really good, 2 Catholic Conference teams. So we also got to play Reading and Winchester, who are on the other side of the Middlesex League, who are just as good. So it's going to be tough, but we're looking forward to it.
And how do you guys feel about the Middlesex League this year? Do you guys think you can
Yeah, we have a
win
shot.
that one?
Yeah, we got a big shot at winning it.
So who are the future stars for the team? I know you got quite a few young guys coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we got Brendan Fennell, who's a stud. He had 40 points last year, 40-plus points last year. Then Charlie Haggerty, Sean Sr., Quinn McCarthy, they're all just as good. We're a young team, but we're going to be good in the future.
So one of the biggest things that comes to mind in hockey is the kids' hair, the flow. Who do you guys think in the team has the best hair?
Oh, I think Lucian's got some great flow. He does some funny stuff with it. Always spikes it up when his hair's all sweaty in the locker room. I'd have to go with Luce.
I'd have to say Kevin O'Keefe. I mean, he's got it flowing out the helmet. I'm waiting for him to get a mullet, but it's always flowing.
I have to agree with Crowe here, Kevin O'Keefe. It's long, a little greasy and sweaty, but what can you do?
Now, do you guys have any freshmen on the team this year? I know last year you guys had quite a few, but how about this year?
Yeah, we got one, TJ Sullivan. He's pretty good. He's doing well. So,
Funny guy.
Good to have
yeah,
more
he's a
young
funny
talent.
kid. He's good to have on the team.
So I know you talked about some of your upcoming games earlier. Which game are you guys most excited for the rest of the year?
Wakefield. Definitely Wakefield. We play them twice, and our town's rival, always going to be a big game battle.
And when's that coming up?
A week, I think, next Saturday. So.
Alrighty, well.
Yeah, we got the SJP game. I'm really looking forward to that. And Xaverian, I think we can really make a statement, those 2 games. But I'm also looking forward to Burlington, because the past 3 years they've really run up the scoreboard on us. So I think we should really run it up on them this year.
For sure.
Yeah. I think St. John's Prep is definitely one to look forward to. Them and Reading are 2 very good teams that'll be good to face. We don't always play Catholic teams like St. John's, so it's a good new matchup to try.
Belmont, too. They knocked us out of the tournament. So,
All right, well,
we got a lot of them.
thank you guys so much for coming on the show this month, and good luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll have the new girls hockey coach, Mr. Sorrenti. Welcome back to Sports and Clubs. I'm here with the girls hockey coach, Mr. Sorrenti. How's it going today?
Good. How are you?
So we'll get right into it. So this is your first year coaching at Melrose. What other coaching experience have you done, not just in Melrose, but everywhere else too?
Well, I've been involved with the youth hockey program here in Melrose since 1994 in a variety of different capacities. Coached there at the Pee Wee level, which is 11 and 12-year-olds. I've spent 13 years with the JV team, the girls JV team at Austin Prep. And the last 2 years I did double duty with the JV girls and the varsity at the Prep. So been around for a little while.
Now, did you play hockey growing up or when you were younger?
I did, right from the very beginning on the ponds, way back when. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So what got you into coaching in the first place?
Well, I've always loved the game, and I always wanted to give it a try as far as coaching up the younger kids. Got involved with the youth hockey program, and just really enjoy being out there with the kids and helping them to have some fun. I have very fond memories of my days as a youth player, and my goal was to try and give the kids that I coached the same kind of experience that I had growing up with hockey and having fun with your friends and your teammates.
So you're a couple games in the season now already, but what are some of your goals for the rest of the season coming up?
Well, we've played 6 games. We're even right now. We're 3-3, and we've played very well. we have some things obviously to improve upon. Our goals really to take it one game at a time. We don't have any really long-range goals except to make the tournament. We want to get into the tournament, so we need to get to 10 wins. So the girls and I, we agreed that we would take it, a game at a time, a shift at a time, and work it that way, and then see where we stand at the end. So.
Now, how do you feel the season's gone so far?
Very well. We had a huge win against a very good Masco team last Friday. We let one get away, I think, a little bit against Woburn, but for the most part, the girls have played very well. Got a very enthusiastic group, and like I said, we're 3-3 right now with a stretch of games coming up that I think we can be very competitive with. So we're hoping to get on a roll.
Now, what are some games coming up that you're looking forward to?
Well, it's always a challenge against Reading and Winchester and some of those teams. We play the large division teams one time and then everybody else twice, everybody in our division. We have a big one this Saturday against Stoneham. They're in first place in the Liberty division, or I'm sorry, the Freedom division, which is our division. So we're gonna take it one game at a time. We're gonna look forward to see if we can steal that one.
Now, I know it seems like you got a good mix of upperclassmen and underclassmen on the team. What are some of the future stars coming up?
We have a very good mix, actually. We have 3 8th graders that have a lot of potential. Some of them are fitting right in right now, and some of them have more of an upside down the road. We also have some good freshmen and sophomore players as well. Our first line is 2 8th graders and a freshman, so we're going to hopefully be able to, those players will continue to develop, and our team hopefully will be good for the long haul.
It's great to hear. Now, more of a personal question for you. What's your favorite hockey-related moment as whether a player, a coach, or a fan?
That's a tough question. I would have to say one of the ones that is right up at the top is winning a couple of state championships. We actually won 3 state championships at the Pee Wee level with our youth program, and I was on the bench for all 3 of those. So that was a big thrill. Some of the time that I spent with the JV team at Austin Prep, a lot of fond memories, and we had some success along the way as well. So those are the things that really stick in my mind.
That's great to hear. Mr. Rennie, thank you so much for joining us this month.
No problem, my pleasure.
And then up next, we'll have the girls hockey captains. Welcome back to Sports and Clubs. Here with the girls hockey captains. How you guys doing today?
Good.
And now we'll get right into it. When did you guys start playing hockey?
I started when I was about 5 years old, I would say, and then started from there.
Started around when I was 8, but I started skating before that.
So was there anything specific that got you guys into hockey, or?
So my sister started playing, and my dad played when he was in high school and stuff too. And when I saw how much she was enjoying it, I wanted to also take it up.
Yeah, my older brother played as well as my dad, so I think just for my brother playing, I wanted to also be a part of it like her.
Now, how did the team do last year for you guys?
Last year we were very strong. It was our best record in the history since we started here. And I think our record, what was it, like 18-3-1?
3-1.
And how'd you guys do in the postseason last year? How'd that?
We got 2 tournament games in, so that was the farthest we've ever gone, which was really good.
Now, how do you guys think the team is this year? I know there was quite a bit of seniors on the team last year. How do you think this year's going to go?
Although we had like a huge amount of girls graduate, I think that we still have a lot of like really strong girls, and we have a lot of 8th graders, so I think it should still be really good.
I agree. There's a lot of experienced players coming back, and even though we lost quite a bit to graduation, we are definitely going to be big contenders in the league this year.
For sure. Now, how is your new coach this year? Because I know you guys have gotten a new one this year.
Yeah, he's really good. He loves it, and he's so organized, so I think he's really beneficial.
Yeah, he runs a youth league, so we multiple of the players have had them since we've been young, so
yeah, we know him.
Familiar face.
Mm-hmm.
Now, has changing coaches had any big effects in the season, or do you guys think it's been pretty smooth so far and a seamless transition?
I think it's been good since there's a lot of new girls. Like, I think it's all a new season, and he's really trying his hardest, so that's good.
Now, how do you guys feel about the upcoming schedule? Is there any tough teams you're facing, or?
We're playing Woburn, the returning league champs or state champs, so that's definitely going to be a struggle. And we have a couple like Masco and Shrewsbury out of league games, but nothing we can't handle.
Yeah, should be good.
So you guys brought up that you had some younger talent coming up. Who are some of the future stars for the team?
Well, we've had Emily Crovo for a year, and she's been really good. But we do have like some juniors like Marie Marr and Mackenzie, who's in 8th grade, and Magby Pierce. It's a lot of younger girls that I think will be really good.
So what's the schedule looking like this year in terms of home games, away games, and where exactly do you guys play?
So we play at the Flynn Rink in Medford. We have a lot of away games on Saturdays this year, but you can catch us at the Flynn on Wednesdays and a few Saturdays. Make sure to pack the Flynn.
Yes, pack the Flynn.
Thank you guys for joining us this month. It's been great. Up next, we'll have the Imprint. Welcome back to Sports and Clubs. Here with the school newspaper, the Imprint. How's it going?
Good, thanks.
Now, you guys want to maybe introduce yourself and say how long you've been doing the club?
I am Mr. Stewart. I am the advisor for the Imprint, and this is my 6th year advising the Imprint.
I'm Lauren. I'm the editor-in-chief. I've been doing the Imprint for about 3 years now.
I'm Lizzie. I'm a junior, and I'm the life editor, and I started freshman year, so this is the start of my 3rd year, too.
Now, I'm sure the Imprint's been around before you guys. Do you know how long it's really been running for? Or?
It's been at least since the 1940s. We actually had someone send us some really old copies once upon a time, and I don't know what happened to them.
That's crazy. Now, do you guys find it a little difficult to come up with new stories, or is it kind of relatively easy?
I mean, it can be hard sometimes to come up with new ideas, but I think we do have a very wide range of people from different, like we have a lot of people who play sports, we have a lot of drama kids, and because of that, I think we're able to cover a lot of different areas in this school, and we always somehow come up with enough ideas.
Yeah, it's also really great when we have new members who come in and have like these huge ideas that we had never thought of.
For sure. Now, how often is the Imprint published here at the high school?
We usually release about 3 issues a year, sometimes 4, but usually 3.
Okay. And I know you kind of touched up a little bit earlier on what you individually do for the Imprint, but do you want to maybe go a little bit more in depth about what you guys do for the paper?
Yeah, do you want to start with that?
So I'm the life editor. Basically, the newspaper has different sections. There's like opinion, news, life, sports. So life is basically stories more just about like what's going on around the school. It could be like features about different students or teachers. So I kind of just, I technically oversee that, but really I feel like I'm involved in like all different aspects of the paper in terms of editing and just writing articles. But yeah.
So as the editor-in-chief, I sort of like organize the big picture of everything at the Imprint. So I'm kind of in charge of our Google Drive where we have all of our brainstorming and all of our articles, and I put them all in different folders. I make sure to tell people to get their articles in on time. That's basically it.
I'm really just there to make suggestions. They're the ones running the show. The students drive pretty much everything.
And then where and when does the Imprint normally meet?
We meet in Mr. Stewart's room every Tuesday after school, about 2:45. We usually go until like 3, maybe 3:15.
And then how can new people join up and help out?
You can just show up.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's welcome. We always love new members.
Yes, we do.
For sure. Now, I'm sure it happens for you guys. Are there ever times where you really want to cover a topic, but you just aren't allowed to?
Well, we've never, to my knowledge, we've never been specifically told not to cover anything, but at the same time, I think it's a matter of using your best judgment as far as who's going to be reading what.
Yeah. We definitely have thought about articles that would be definitely interesting to write, but we always kind of have a common line that we know not to cross.
Yeah. And Mr. Stewart is very good at guiding us through it. He always says, like, you guys can do whatever you want, but if it were up to me, I would not do this, and things like that.
Yeah, it always works out, though.
That sounds great. So as we're wrapping it up now, where and when can people buy the next Imprint, and how much would it cost them?
So we usually sell at lunches. So usually we have someone at every lunch at a little table near where like the teacher's lunchroom is. They're always $1. We're going to see if we can start selling candy with the Imprint. So our next issue is coming out around the beginning of February.
All right, sounds awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show this month.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll see you next month on Sports and Clubs.